Birthday Hawa, birthday Hawa Shai, birthday Hawa, birthday Hawa Shai, call halal Yimah al Hayna Yahweh Shem Shai B'Shem Kodash. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Shai B'Shem Kodash. Bless you, Yahweh, and bless you in the name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Spirit Holy. Giving, of course, praises to the Heavenly Father in the Hebrew and the Lashon Kodash properly pronounced of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, which means He is or He exists. Hashem is in the name. Yahweh Shai is He the deliverer for the nation of Israel. Hashem Kodash, name of Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles, elder apostles, and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutation to the elect. Shemiyah Malpman is a Mappa, Mayan Gawala Makana from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. Above all, I am Lamadi Ma'it. Come to lesson, little RB lesson. This lesson just in the spirit, and we've been on the subject of Rome, and I believe here in my camp that I'm in here in Philadelphia, Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, we have a particular assignment speaking about America being Rome and such, and in some, you have obviously this whole Roman Empire coming back through, of course, the NATO, the EU, in America. All right, these common markets, 10 toes, and also known as the 10 horns, came back, with different agreements such as Treaty of Rome, and you can go into all that history. And you have, of course, everything spearheaded by America. All right, so I'm just gonna go in the spirit. I have Revelation 13, which has been a centerpiece of, pretty much the lesson. Well, just with going into, this particular beast. The fourth beast, but the reincarnated part of it, which deadly wound was healed. So Revelation chapter 13 and 11. All right, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, and this beast is speaking about America. Okay, two horns represent the two political parties, which, if you've seen my past lesson, I went into with the Democrats and Republican, which would be your of today, your plebeians and patricians. Well, our ancient plebeians and patricians. Which you have your wealthy landowners and such, who are patricians and such, and they got power, right? Like inherited it, and then you have your plebeians and such, which would be commoners and such, and and you go into that, which would be your modern day Democrats and such, right? But going on, I'm just going to go to the point, 13 and 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast. The first beast being ancient Roman Empire. Okay. Before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay. And in this beast, all right, in this this kingdom here, you have it where they have you reverence these different ideologies, customs, and the ways of the ancient and pagan Roman Empire and such. I was just going to look into this word for worship as well. Now you have for worship, um, reverence. Kiss the hand towards one in a token of reverence, basically respects, right? Um, Basically, also, uh, even got kneeling or prostration to do homage to one. Like as if you bow to one, that would be to show respect, right? To make obeisance, right? I believe that goes into basically, respect or worship, right? Homage or adoration, all right, submission, okay? Whether in order to express respect or to make supplication or begging, right? Um, so in this, current system, it's in the same fashion of the ancient Roman Empire, all right? Because this is nothing but the Roman Empire coming back, all right? Due to the European vassals or the EU now of today, the common markets, all right, and NATO, EU, America, all right. They exercise all power of the first beast. Now, it's going into also this word for exercise, and not pardon. And read the Greek word, the poieo, which for exercise mean um, they got exercise to carry out, to execute, all right, to perform, okay, render one anything, okay. So they perform the various, with this political structure and such, this so-called this kingdom, they perform all power of the first beast, okay, the ancient, okay. And you have back in the ancient Roman Empire, you had the gymnos, okay, which I'm just gonna go quickly to the book of First Maccabees, all right, and the whole Greco-Roman setup. You had a gymnos or a gym, all right, which you go back to gymnos, just go back to gym, or gym go back to gymnos, which means naked, right? And we will go briefly into it. All right, so let's go way back to Alexander. All right, the creep, Alexander the Great. So, and this is verse 7. This is in the Maccabees in the Apocrypha part, original King James 1611 Bible. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put cravings upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, with obviously the whole rule with the Ptolemy and Seleucid and Lacedaemonius and Cassander, these main generals and such, of the four generals we're speaking about, you had much evils multiplied in the earth, okay, bad times and such, and wickedness, all right. And you had heavily the Seleucid, with the Seleucid, which I believe the Antiochus come out of the four Antiochus the four. That's the whole Seleucid empire and such. You had major Hellenization of the Israelites. Okay. Which I was gonna see if I could find just something brief that I had wanted just to bring out. Basically going into the whole Greek tongue and the dress, the language, etc. All right, so see if I can get it, but if I can't, I'll just continue forward. Let's see, where is it at? I had it right there. All right, so the Seleucid Empire was a major center of Hellenistic culture. Greek customs and language were privileged. All right, Greek customs and language were privileged. The wide variety of local traditions had been generally tolerated, while an urban Greek elite had performed the dominant political class and was reinforced by steady immigration from Greece. That's all I wanted right there, where the Greek customs and language, were privileged. And if you go, with the whole Greco-Roman Empire, but going just into the whole Greek empire, you had it where, Alexander was heavy universalizing and bringing people into be a one people. All right, even though the fact that us as Israelites, we have different customs outside of, the heathen and such. We have the law, statutes, commandments of the scriptures. All right, and of course, the whole gymnos thing with being naked, that would be wicked. All right, because you would see another man's nakedness, which is against that's a form of lewdness, okay, which would be unlearned. All right, but we'll go into that, just in brief, but I'm just mentioning that. I'm gonna go right back, just giving a little bit of wee bit of history. And it says, and after his death, this is First Maccabees chapter 1 and 9, and after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been hostage at Rome, and he reigned in 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. And in those days went there a wicked out of Israel. All right, so-called niggas. Out of our people, but going on, it says wicked men. All right, who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen," or agreement. Barayath in the Hebrew was just going to making a covenant. All right, agreements with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances, the various decrees of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem in Israel, according to the custom of the heathen. All right. Well, build a place of exercise, which should be your gymnos. Okay. Now, I could go and even fast forward. Cause another thing about E, he takes all these different customs, and he forced it upon us and such. Okay, and with the Greeks and with the Romans. All right, both empires, Greco-Roman Empire, which is just nothing but coming back again today, as the scriptures do tell you. When you read, I could get that real quick, just a very brief precept. It tells you in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter, what's that? Ecclesiastes, chapter 3. And it tells you, actually, that's the first chapter, pardon me. Tell you in Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, that the thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. It says, right, noting, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be. All right, that be or exists, right? And that which is done is that which shall be done. All right, and there's things that have been done and already again happen again. All right, history repeats itself, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? That's the question. It hath been already of old time, or ancient times, which was before us. Okay. Now, just going into that, just ancient. Let me see the Hebrew word there. Would be Iwalam. Okay. In a period. I thought it'd be Zaquan, but it's not. That's another way they're using it for old or ancient. Okay, world, ancient time. Okay, simple as that. Now, and I had another precept. I think it was going to be in the book of Acts. I think, what's that? Is it Acts 13? I gotta just think if it's that what it is. Okay, this is Acts chapter 13 and 1. It says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simon, that was called, as we go into nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. Okay. Now, obviously they were dark skinned. Okay. Hey, you can't get around this. All right. Now, remember, speaking during the time period back in ancient Rome, I have a actual piece that's not going to be displayed on the screen, but I have the actual information right before me, which speaks about also that place being Antioch, which that is a providential capital of Syria, and the residents of the Roman legate, sizable. They got say Jewish, but basically we're going to you know Israelites being Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Southern Kingdom community lived among a total population. Of course, you're gonna have a wee remnant too, there of the Northern Kingdom. It says lived among a total population that extended 250,000 people. Julius Caesar, Augustus, and Tiberius adorned Antioch, and just going into that area, right? Because it's mentioned in the scriptures, right? Adorn, these particular Caesars that we're talking about, in the area, obviously, Israelites are gonna be, you know. It says that they adorn Antioch with temples, baths, aqueducts, and other public buildings. All right, and Herod the Great provided 2.5 mile colonnaded street paved with marble that bisected the city from north to south. It says Greeks and Romans and citizens of the East gave Antioch a truly a truly cosmopolitan image. All right, the church, as it says at Antioch, became the mother church of Gentile Christianity, which would just be Israelite foreigners. All right, by Israelites that went astray from the law, statutes, commandments. The fathers they adopted the Greek customs and such. All right, gymnos would be one of those, right? Or going into the gym naked and such would be one of that. But going into by sponsoring the mission endeavors, Paul and others, in this melting pot of various creeds and cults just mean worship. Believers in the way first were called Christians. Okay, and they give here let me see, they quote Acts 11:26. Let me just go back. Let me see what they got right there. Oh yeah, where it say they were first called Christians at Antioch, right? Slakia, because I picked that precept, but yeah, still. I'm speaking about Antioch in general. Just going so you can kind of get a history, so that you can know that a place where Israelites actually dwelled, Israelites were actually participating in these different things as well. Okay, Acts 11:26, and when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch. All right. And it came to pass that the whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. All right. These are Israelites we're talking about. All right. And in those days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. All right. Remember, mentioning, as I had mentioned, under Julius Caesar, Augustus, and Tiberius, they adorned Antioch with temples, baths, and aqueducts, and other public buildings. Now, you have it where the Roman baths. Now, it says here in bathing, all right, which just go hand in hand, obviously, with the gymnos, right? Of all leisure activities, bathing was surely the most important of the greatest number of for the greatest number of Romans, since it was part of a daily regimen for men of all classes, socially, right? And many women as well. We think that bathing as a very private activity conducted in a home, right, which would be in private, right? But bathing in Rome was a communal activity conducted for the most part in public facilities that in some ways resemble modern spas or health clubs. Okay, Because if you go to a health club, like you say at LA Fitness, you have obviously you have showers and stuff like that. You gonna go into it? Although they were far less expensive, a modern scholar, they note this guy, Fekrit Ugel, sums up the significant Roman baths in the following way. Baths bathing in classic antiquity, Cambridge, MIT, 1992. The universal acceptance of bathing as a central event in daily life belongs to the Roman world, and was hardly an exaggeration to say that at the height of the empire, the baths embodied the ideal Roman way of urban life. A part of their normal hygienic functions, they provided facilities of sports and recreation. Okay, there you go, your gymnos. Okay, their public nature created the proper environment, much like a city club or community center, right? Like you'd think your YMCA, right? For social intercourse, varying from neighborhood gossip to business discussions. Or you can go to LA Fitness. I go to LA Fitness. They have a sauna, all right? Okay? And they, in there, you go in the sauna, you got guys naked in the sauna, or women could be naked in there. I haven't been in the late women's room, of course, but in the men's room and time past, at LA Fitness they have a sauna, with hot coals and just hot, very hot, and you sweat, right? It could be a way of losing like purifying from different toxins and etc. Right? Well, men be in there naked and they'll talk about any and everything, including yourself. Real social environment and stuff. Business. Oh yeah, man, I got this. I'm going good. Hey, you got a job? Might discourse about that. Where do you work at, etc. Especially like I say, I speak about even LA Fitness because LA Fitness, it's a lot of different people that go there. So I'm speaking about what I know, but it says there was even a cultural and intellectual side to baths, since the truly grand establishment, the thermae, incorporated libraries, lecture halls, colonnades, and promenades, and assumed a character like a Greek gymnasium. Okay? Wow. Although wealthy Romans might set up a bath in their own houses, or especially in their county or village, heating a series of rooms, right, or even a separate building, especially for this purpose, even they frequent the number of public bathhouses in the city and towns throughout the empire. Okay? And we could go more into this information, very beautiful information, just to go, into this history, that so you can know, so you can get it. And Israelites were into this, okay, too, after the whole Greco, Roman custom, as we went into the history where it began and such, or under Hellenization, with Alexander's, four generals, etc. Okay, particularly at Antiochus Epiphanes, I was going into, but going on, it says fees for both types of baths were quite reasonable within budget. Most free Roman males. Remember, you had slaves too. All right. Since the Romans' workday began at sunrise, work was usually over a little after noon, about 2 to 3 o'clock. And hey, even in that, just telling you that, my work schedule is like that. All right, began at basically a little bit after sun. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much true. Men would go to the baths and plan to stay for several hours for sports, bathing, and conversation. Right. So after that, you go to the gym. Right. After you do your work, then men will go to the gym basically. And don't most men do that during these days? Okay. They go, or even women, like they go and they would go to work and then go to the gym, go eat and go home or whatever. All right, or eat at home, however you want to do it. It says so that this whole fashion goes back to ancient Rome. Okay, ain't nothing new to sun, and this is easily proving it right here more in depth. Okay, going on, it says, and after which they would be ready for a relaxing dinner. See, there you go. We don't have to speculate because we're pretty much, like I said, ain't no new thing under the sun. So it's like we're the same, coming back. People coming back. All right, people do what people do. Okay, or people did what people did. All right, it's just obviously we get into back to our right proper customs, and such. Right, and repenting from the wicked things. Right. So it says Republican uh, bathhouses often have separate built bathing facilities for women and men. All right, but by the empire, the custom was to open bathhouses to women during the early part of the day and reserve it to men from 2 p.m. until closing, usually sundown. All right, through, and you know how like a lot of times too, even with women, they like doing things in them early bits, right? A lot of times you see most women in the gym, from what I can see, a lot of times it's during the morning time. All right, but going on, uh, though we occasionally hear of baths being used at night. For example, one contract for the management of a providential bath specified that the facility would open to women from daybreak until about noon, and men from 2 p.m. until sunset. Although women got less desirable hours, also back in the ancient time, I think women they didn't have the ability to participate back in like voting, right? But it says their fee was twice as high as men's. All right, one as copper coin for women, half for men. Mixing bathing was generally frowned upon, or mixed bathing was frowned upon, and although the fact that various emperors repeatedly forbade it seems to indicate that the prohibiting did not always work. Okay. Certainly, women were concerned about their respectability and did not frequent baths when men were there. All right, because they would think like, "Oh man, look at this girl. She's pretty much pretty much freaky, showing off herself, etc." Right? But of course, the baths were an excellent place for prostitutes. Right? Yeah, duh. Oh, you see some chick out there, at the baths, she's showing off her body, or she's out there at the baths. Duh, that'd be an easy way for them to guys see them and be aroused and want to obviously pay. Because prostitute just goes to stand before. It'd be she's a harlot or zanah in the Hebrew, which basically a woman that's gonna be a sex for hire woman, had multiple men, etc. Right? But going on, exercise. Bathing had a fairly regular ritual. The bathhouses were built to accommodate this. Upon entering baths, individuals first went into the dressing room. Don't people do that during these times at the gym? They go enter the gym. You go to the dressing room. In the dressing room, dudes would be spread out naked. Women probably do the same in their pits. And so-called get dressed. You got dudes literally walk naked in there. It's ridiculous. said it's not of our custom, but Israelites have been in that. Like, we've been in gyms. I've been in the gym. All right. Me, I personally prefer to, have my own gym. I have my own little home setup. But going on, this reconstruction drawing shows the men's dressing room in the Forum Baths in Pompeii. Okay. That Roman emperor, I believe, or well, in that particular area. But they named these different areas after, like he had named himself after the lands. Psalms 49:11, I think that is right. In Naples, Western Italy, ancient city, right? Where there were 9 inches in cabinets to store the street clothes and shoes, right? So there you go. We have your lockers, okay? In modern times, they had cabinets. Nothing new under the sun, clear. In the model above, the dressing room is on the left, farthest from the furnace. Click here for a closer look, and I will have to click just to show it real quick. Said this all due to spirit. I'm doing this lesson, and you see it right there. Doesn't that look very? You see dudes is naked. Some people, you know what I mean? Togas, whatever, skirts, etc. All right, nothing new under the sun. Going into, again, continuing on. It says many bathers were accompanied by one or more slaves to carry their gear and guard their clothes in the dressing rooms. Now, of today, wouldn't you think that, all right, obviously, you have, today, modern day, you also, think of the stadiums and stuff too. Think about, obviously, athletes that, train, ball sports, right? Basketball today. They have men that actually, servants, so-called, they have that job of, okay, this is where his gear go. UFC, they got dudes in UFC. Okay, here's your locker room. Make sure this is here. You need a new shirt here. Throw you a new shirt, etc. Right? Carry the gear, right? You have that, right? Nothing new under the sun. All right. In the Stabian Baths in Pompeii, the women's dressing room also served as a frigidarium containing a small cold water pool. Note the graffito of the ship stretched into posts separating 2 inches in the room, and I have to pull up the photo. But although the evidence is not clear exactly what Romans wore when bathing, it seems probable that they did not exercise in the nude as Greek males did. All right, difference with women, right? It says, and may also have worn some light covering in baths, perhaps the you have this here, subligellum. Within the bath, special sandals with thick soles were needed to protect the feet from the heated floors. Okay. I could think of that. You go to a jiu-jitsu gym, they wearing, the sandals, off the mats, right? But just going into this drawing of the Sabian bath shows the efficient design of relatively small Republican bathhouse with facilities for men and women. The large central courtyard was an exercise ground or a palestra. All right, and go show that real quick. As you can see, big open area. Kind of remind me of the place here in Philadelphia, and it surrounded a shadow portico which led into the bathing rooms. They might also take a swim in a large outdoor pool, or not to, or what's that? Not to, let's see, hold on. Natatio, Slovakia, if I got that pronounced right, or pardon me, such as this one, and I could check that. I'm gonna get right to the point. After changing clothes and oiling their bodies, many bathers, typically begin their regimen with exercise, ranging from mild weightlifting, as shown in the image of the left. At the left, all right, see him holding some iron, right? I see somebody with some ball right there. Okay, nothing new on the sun again. This is Rome. This is Rome all over again. All right, it's clear. Going on, it says, and it says wrestling, various ball playing, running, swimming. Okay. Click here to find out more about the Roman ball games. Although women athletes like the one on the left are shown in the famous 4th century CE mosaic in Piazza Armenia in Sicily, these apparently depict some contests of competition rather than the ordinary practice. Most of those exercising in the Palestria were likely to be men. Duh. Well, going on, obviously you got wrestling. They did naked. Damn near, most men today, when they do wrestling, nogi, a lot of the regular wrestling, they wearing leotard and stuff, damn near naked, you see women, they barely got much on there, but it goes into more. And it even talks about Seneca, which was a Jake. He was a philosopher, a Stoic philosopher, and he said they got an account which it speaks about how when he lived near a bathhouse in Rome, the bathhouses were very attractive places. All right, and I went into, like I showed you with Antioch and stuff, with certain of these emperors and such, which adorned. Well, yeah, Antioch with where Israelites would be in Syria, right? Would have, which we were scattered, that, and which they would have baths amongst the different public buildings, which would be splendorous, right? But yeah, man, so there's a lot I can speak about, but I pretty much through the Spirit feel I've accomplished one of my elements, in which showing you a parallel. This is Rome all over again. Okay, America being there's nothing, Rome all over again, the EU, etc., NATO, etc. So, hopefully you're edified much by the information. Giving, of course, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Hashai B'Shem Kodesh, double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, peace, citation to the elect. What I'll do is I will put maybe like some links up in the description box if you brothers want to look at. Shalom to you, elect.